Hello guys, this is Deepika from mytutorialrack.com. In this tutorial, we will start working on a small experiment to tell you more about branches. So in this tutorial, we will create another branch. So far, we have two branches. If you want to know how many branches you have, you can always go ahead and say git branch, and it will tell you that you have two branches, crazy and master, and currently you are in the master. You are checked out as a master. So in the master branch, so your project folder is pointing to a master branch, and you can see there are three files present under this folder. And now we will go ahead and create another branch, and we will call it as a CSS branch, and this CSS branch will be checked out or coincide with the master branch. So both of them will be similar because the new branch that we are creating off of this master. So we're going to go ahead and create a new branch here, and we will call it as CSS. So all our style sheet related stuff will go under this branch. So now we have created this branch. If you wanted to go ahead and list how many branches you have now, it will list you 3 branches, and you are checked out as master. So now what we're going to do, we will go ahead and check out as crazy. So crazy will be right now, we will go ahead and check out as the new branch called the CSS. And if you look at your folder, the project folder, now you are basically, it has everything that the master branch has. Now what we're going to do here is we will go ahead and create a new file, and we will call it as a style.css. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new file here. So I'm going to go ahead and say file new, and I'm going to save it as the style.css file that will be present under the my git repo. So style.css. So in this particular file, I will add all my style sheets or cascading stuff. So I'll define. So now this is my style.css. I have specified the padding, the font family, the font size, the color, everything I've specified here, and this is going to be my style sheet. So now I'm going to let my index orange and blue HTML tell that, okay, go ahead and use this style sheet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and provide the link for this style sheet for every page. So now I'm going to go ahead and link this particular style sheet here. I'm going to tell this is the style sheet. Same line, I'm going to go ahead and put it in these 3 places, under the orange.html as well as under the blue.html. So these are my 3 files, and all of these 3 files contains this particular style sheet, style.css. So now they are pointing to this one. So currently I'm checked out as a CSS branch, and this is the CSS branch. I have made these changes where I have created a style.css file, and I have also changed these or modified these index.html, orange HTML, and blue HTML. So now I'm going to go back and see what kind of I'm going to do a status of my repository. So I'm going to go back to my bash, and I'm going to say git status. Now here it's going to tell me that I have modified these 3 files, and I have added a style.css, and I'm checked out as CSS branch. So I'm in the CSS branch, and I have done these changes and have added a new file. So now I'm going to go ahead and commit these changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say git add the style.css, and then I'm going to see the status, and it will tell me that okay, we have added the new file. And then I'm going to go ahead and do commit. So I'm going to say commit my change at the CSS style sheet. So this is what I have done. So now if you go ahead and look at the status, it will tell you that you have only 3 files that you have modified. You need to either add this file, and now we're going to go ahead and create a snapshot and then commit these changes. So we're going to go ahead and add these files together. Index.html, you can provide the name of these files, blue.html, and orange.html. You need to make sure that this branch is totally independent of the master. So whatever you're doing on this branch, master does not know about it. Okay, and I'll show you in a minute. So now I'm going to add these. Now if you look at the status, you need to commit these changes. So I'm going to go ahead and say git commit, and the message I'm going to say is, since we have linked the style sheet under this, so I'm going to say the message would be link HTML pages to style sheet. That's what we have done. Right now I'm under the CSS. If you go to your project folder, you're going to see that it has 4 files, and these are the style.css. Now if I go ahead and check out as master, you will see that this particular folder does not contain style.css, and this particular folder also does not, this particular file also does not have that link to those style sheets. So if you go back here, and if you see, those style sheets are not present. So the style sheet that you have, they're not present under here. But now if you go ahead and if you look at the crazy branch also does not know about these changes, because the crazy branch is totally independent of the master as well. So now if I go back here and if I go ahead and check out as crazy, what you're going to see here is you will not see the file that we have just added, and it has a rainbow file that we created, and it has a whole different projects or whole different files and whole different look and feel. But the CSS that we have created, the CSS branch, let's go ahead and check out as CSS again. And if you look at the logs are going to tell you, let me go ahead and do a one line here. So I'm going to say git log -- one line. So these are the changes that I have done under this particular branch. Okay, and if you compare your log history or commit history with your master will not know about the adding of the CSS style sheet and linking the HTML pages to these style sheets. So now what we're going to do is, this is a totally independent branch. Now we're going to go ahead and do some experiment in that branch, and we will try to merge those changes. If we are satisfied with whatever we have done with the CSS, we will try to merge those changes with the master branch, and then we will see how to delete this branch, because then we will have 2 similar branches, and we don't master as well as CSS, but we do not want the extra branch. So we're going to go ahead and remove that. So we will see all these things. We will see how to merge the changes into the master, and we will see how to remove the extra branch in the next tutorial.